Dustin?
Yep, I gotcha.
Yeah, I just wanted to catch up with you real quick before you guys get started with the playoffs. I mean, how's the mentality? I know we haven't talked in a few months, but how's everything been going just in terms of being with the Astros and got the series coming up? I mean, how's the team feeling?
I think we're feeling okay. Obviously, our season didn't go basically how we wanted to, and the last 2 weeks have been pretty much of a grind for us, dealing with injuries and everything else. But now that we're in, anything can happen.
In terms of you mentioned the scouting report. Obviously, some of your big aces just in terms of not having Justin going into this postseason. How's it going to fare just in terms of other guys having to step up on the pitching staff? Looking after Zach and Lance. I mean, other guys in the bullpen. I mean, how's the overall mentality of the pitching staff? Being a catcher. Seeing how they've been throwing and looking.
I think we're going to be okay. The pitching staff's basically what's kept us in games all year long, even with the young guys that we've had to throw out of the bullpen. And our starting guys, I think, are legit. We're going to have Zach, Bikini, Framber, and McCullers, and then we'll have Valdez in the bullpen. And he's not starting for us, and so I think our pitching staff is going to be a lot better, a lot improved to what people think that we're going to be showing out there.
And in terms of the hitting, that's something that has been hurting you guys. Just on the offensive side, you guys used to be more, at least in prior years, more used to being one of the big sluggers in the league. Coming into the playoffs, a few of the guys have been kind of coming into their own, but nobody's really set like they used to be, just in terms of the production. How's it gonna be just in terms of everybody getting going and trying to get on that page where they used to, at least looking at numbers?
I think we're going to be okay. The last series, I know we didn't have guys getting very many hits and stuff, but a lot of guys are hitting balls hard and lining out a lot. So the balls are finding the barrels. Now it's just finding the balls finding the outfield. And then I think these guys are one of the more veteran lineups in baseball. They've been here before, so it's not going to be too hard for them to adjust and get ready to go.
What do you say to one of them, if you say anything at all? Say these guys have been struggling all year, coming into the postseason, clean slate. How do you get them going, just in terms of the mentality and letting them know that they've done it before, and just giving them the confidence that they're used to having?
It's not for me to say. This is my first time with these guys. They know that what they're doing. They've been in the postseason the last 3 years in a row and the World Series twice, so they know what they got to do. They've been here multiple times, so I think they're gonna rise to the occasion for sure.
Your first postseason action. What are you looking forward to most, just in terms of what you're looking to see, how you're gonna feel? I mean, you getting the nerves? Obviously, no fans, but I mean, it's got to be pretty exciting going into tomorrow.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be an awesome experience. Obviously, it's gonna be a little different with no fans, and the postseason is supposed to be a wild atmosphere. But just gonna take it all in and go pitch to pitch and talk to Moldy as much as I can, see what he's seeing out there, try to get on the same page, man, for the pitching staff, and just keep it rolling game to game, game to game.
New format. What's kind of the mentality coming into this? It's something where 3 games, you got to take 2 or 3 at least. What's the mentality, knowing that from game one you guys got to be on your A game to advance?
Yeah, it's just that's the best part about playoffs is anything can happen and any team can get hot if you get hot at the right time. You're gonna be good, especially in a 3 game set where 2 games matter. It's on the first team that's gonna strike is gonna have the best shot.
In terms of not finishing like you mentioned where you wanted to, just in terms of coming into the season, high expectations, making it into the playoffs, as a 6 seed instead of where you guys are usually used to being looked at. Is it kind of an underdog mentality coming into the playoffs? Kind of being underlooked and not talked about as much as usual. Looking at where you guys are at least starting the postseason at.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the mentality of the team at least because we're coming in limping for sure. And the last 2 weeks, obviously, we lost a bunch of games, but the mentality of the team is knowing where they've been and what they can do and how they can play baseball. It's gonna rise to the occasion, at least like I said before.
You mentioned the weapons that you have, not including Justin coming into it, at least in the first series, only having to have 3 starters go out there. Do you think the shortened series favors you guys, or doesn't favor you, just in terms of the outlook that you have? Only having to take two.
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I think we're definitely taking it as it's going to favor us because our other think it'll definitely help us. It'll give us length in the bullpen if we need it. But the starters that we're going to be running out there are definitely legit.
In terms of, I know the scouting report, you don't want to obviously say anything specific, but just one or two general things that you guys are really looking to hone in on, whether it's command, making sure velocity stays there, velocity dips in an inning, you're bringing in the reliever. I mean, is there a short leash on some of these guys? I mean, what's kind of mentality coming into it, knowing that one bad pitch can ruin your season?
Yeah, that's all up to the manager and how he wants to run the game. But basically, you're going to see how the guys are going, how they're feeling, how the game's going to go, and then playoffs. Just talking to guys, being around it. You get a little shorter leash, obviously, because the games. There's no games after these games if you lose. So just to kind of deal with the game pitch to pitch to see how it goes.
And you mentioned, Dusty, coming into, his fifth postseason, at least with a fifth different ball club, having a presence like that. How has that, been just in terms of the regular season? Now coming into the postseason, you guys are pretty in good hands just with the management, at least on your side.
Yeah, he's been around for a while. He's got an understanding of what we're going to be going through because he's done it for multiple teams, and he's going to lead the ship for us.
You mentioned Maldi before, just in terms of he'll probably be starting at least game one tomorrow. What do you see your role as being? Whether it is 2 games in the postseason, or whether you guys are playing for the next month. What's gonna be your role, and what's something that you're really looking forward to trying to accomplish besides obviously the World Series.
My role is basically just trying to stay with what's going on during the game and how they're attacking guys. So if that we do pinch run for Maldi or pinch hit for him or anything, then I do have to come in later in the game so I'll have an idea and not just be flying blind. And then kind of just do what the team needs of me to win games.
In terms of the pitching staff, who's one or two guys that we might not know, just in terms of looking at the Houston Astros pitching staff, that you can really see coming into their own and making a name for themselves come October?
Well, I would say Framber. He's probably one of the guys. He pretty much carried us all year. Him and Zach, and then I know last year in the World Series, Urquidy came on. He's one of the guys that he's really impressive as a starter, especially as young as he is. And then our young guys, we have Valdez is going to the bullpen now. Probably he's a starter for us all year. His last outing he just had against Texas. Last inning got hit a little bit, but before that he was freaking lights out.
In terms of this season for you, you've been in tons of different ball clubs, obviously, different organizations. What has this season been like, for you, just in looking back on it, the regular season wise?
Yeah, obviously it's the weirdest year ever because of how it all started and how it all ended and how it started again, and then just the playing time and playing wise. But playing with this ball club it's been fun, man. These bunch of great guys that really care for each other. So that's probably been the best part of it.
Do you think it favors these guys having a chip on their shoulder coming into it? Because obviously, they used to have the target on their back, but now, going to fly under the radar. It seems like nobody's talking about the Astros coming into this postseason. You're, just highlighting a bunch of the other teams, at least at the top of the playoffs, coming in sort of under the radar. Do you think that's going to benefit you in the long run when, come, end of October, we might be thinking like, geez, like, why weren't we talking about the Astros 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, definitely. But it's also granted we haven't been playing very well or hitting very well too, so it's kind of that goes with the territory. But I think that if people fall asleep in this team in this lineup, they're gonna get hurt because these guys can bash the best of them.
Second to last question for you. I know, just like you mentioned, not playing to where you guys wanted to. Is it just getting everybody hot at the right time? Because obviously, like you mentioned, they've done it before. It's not like they have to do anything different in terms of what they used to do. Is it just getting hot at the right time that's ultimately going to take this team to a pennant?
Absolutely, or just the time they hit. We haven't had the big time they hits yet consistently during the season, and that's what great teams and good teams do. They consistently get the big hit or drive the runs in, and these guys, top to bottom, can do that.
In terms of something you're looking forward to, postseason baseball, like you mentioned, no fans. What's something that come tomorrow you're really just going to look forward to, whether it's being a part of the atmosphere, really taking in the game, not knowing how many more times you get to the postseason. I mean, what's kind of going to be your personal kind of own little facet that you're going to look forward to tomorrow, come game time?
That's the biggest thing you said, that you don't know if you're going to make it back, or even lucky enough to go here for the first time. That I'm just going to take every pitch in and just be in the moment and watch, not just be a spectator, but actually be involved and try to see what's going on, so I can take it all in as much as I can from the bench.
Awesome. And then just final thing for you, Houston Astros, like I mentioned, you guys have a great fan base. How is it going to hurt just in terms of not having the fans there to back you guys up? Because obviously you see the atmosphere even last year, even though they lost in the World Series. I mean, the place goes nuts. I mean, everybody's there. I mean, what's that going to be like? I mean, do you think it benefits you guys this season with no fans in the postseason, or is it going to be something that you guys are going to miss?
Definitely going to miss, especially I know playing against Houston when that place is packed out in Minute Maid, that it's a different kind of environment. It is super loud. It gets freaking nuts in there, and then the guys feed off that. So, but everybody else is going to have to deal with this year because there's no fans and not playing. We're all playing individual sides too.
Awesome. Final thing, like you just mentioned, the neutral sites. Is it weird gonna be playing in a neutral site? Nobody's gonna really have the home field advantage, but not even that. It's not your guys' home park. I mean, is that gonna be kind of a little awkward going into the stadium where neither of you guys really belong?
Hold on a second. Just coming through the river. We're getting early. How you doing? Sorry, Kyle.
You're good.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely going to feel a little weird, but luckily the two sites that we're going to be playing at, or possibly playing at, we played at this year, so that's not going to be unfamiliar territory for us. Where San Diego or LA, we've already been there, and then Arlington, we just got done playing there before the World Series. So in our mind, if we do make it that far and go that far, that's not going to be too big of a difference because we already know what the situations are competing there.
Awesome, Dustin. So get that dinner in. Get that scout.
Sorry
Get
about that.
you're good. Get that dinner in. Get that scouting report going, and definitely be watching tomorrow. And best of luck. Going through this postseason run. It should be a fun one.
Awesome. Thanks again, man.
All right, thanks, Dustin. Have a good one.